All right, so on Gonzalez, roll no wits.
518.
All right, I think we may have all the attorneys now on Rashaun Jones. And he is on the Zoom, page 7.
Good morning, just see that.
Good morning, state you ready.
It's ready.
Defense, you ready?
That's ready.
Okay. State ready, defense ready. I have all of the motions that have been filed. There was one motion in limine by the state and one motion in limine by the defense.
Yes, but I have filed different motions, additional motions within the developments from the last few days. I'm not sure if your honor is aware.
How would I be aware? When did you file
I
them?
was just handed 3 motions right now that looked like they were filed at 3:30 this morning.
And I have a courtesy copy for support as well. I would ask that we set them when we set the motions in Monday.
Well, I gave a deadline for all motions. It was a number of weeks ago, and I said it needed to be filed on that day. Let me give you the date.
Well, Detective Segovia is now under investigation in connection with this case by his department.
Okay, skipping over whatever the motions are, I gave a deadline date for motions in limine, and it was 5:00 p.m., April 27th. That's 1, 2 weeks ago.
Yes, and I did file the motions in limine by the deadline. However, given the new development.
You mean the motions in limine that I got a courtesy copy of, right?
Yes,
That you sent me on that day,
yes.
which is why I said all motions in limine filed on that day by 5 p.m.
But if things happen after the 27th, then we will continue, of course.
So
litigate.
you're not ready for trial because you need to litigate those motions.
No, we are ready for trial. We can litigate those motions before trial.
Oh, Ms. Alvarez, see, the thing is that I'm the one who keeps the calendar. So I don't know when you pretend that I'm going to hear. How many motions are we talking about? See, motions filed at 3:00 the night before sounding are excluded. It's all on the procedures online. Any motions filed after, if you're ready for trial, would be excluded. But if there are motions you want to litigate in the future, because you're not ready based on these motions, then I'm happy to give you a continuance to hear the motions. I don't even know what the motions are. I find it sort of interesting, though, that I did receive last week on Friday at 9:00 in the morning, an emergency motion, which I replied and put it immediately on calendar for Monday, which is what we normally do with motions that are labeled emergency, although the only emergency motions in criminal court have to do with the release of a defendant. But we gave it the courtesy of setting it for Monday. And then at 2:30 in the afternoon, we got an email asking for afternoon court on the emergency motion. Well, we don't have afternoon court here unless we are in division. I didn't have corrections officers. I didn't have a clerk. I didn't have another clerk. I didn't have a court reporter. And I was not available for afternoon court on Friday on this alleged emergency motion, which
Just for the record, the reason.
I wasn't finished, which wasn't an emergency. But I got a courtesy copy of that one at 9:00 in the morning when you wanted me to hear it. Filing motions, and I don't know how many there are still, at 3:00 in the morning, the day before sounding, doesn't establish an emergency on my part. When the court sets a deadline, that deadline needs to be followed. The consequence of not filing it on the deadline would either be a continuance or the attorneys can be held in contempt of court for not following the rule. I don't understand what makes you think this case is any different than every other case that was heard here today. Judge, I'm ready for trial. Judge, I'm not ready for trial. I need to take depositions. I still don't have a copy of the motions that you're referring to. How many motions are there?
Ones that were filed.
Anything that you filed after the deadline, anything after the deadline weeks ago.
7, 6 drafts,
7 motions. And you would like me to hear them when?
whenever we hear the motions in limine.
The motions in limine were given to me 2 weeks ago, so I'm prepared to argue those. Those are momentary motions. I actually already have my ideas of what the rulings are going to be because they're quite standard. All of the motions are standard. What I have for you all.
Listed the jailhouse informant that your honor excluded after the 27th. There are issues that raised.
That witness was listed years ago.
It was
wasn't it?
in 2022.
That's what I thought.
Hold on.
I don't know that he's listed again now, but I do know that he's listed
Yes,
for.
he was, but he was stricken and then relisted again a week ago.
Okay,
So it was not, just to clarify, he was part of the list of witnesses the state did not
cool.
call him.
Well,
That's
I have
back in
the
July.
transcript from the July 9th hearing.
And we can relist a witness.
Was he deposed?
Not by Ms. Alvarez, I don't believe he was deposed, he was
I
in
filed a
2022, his statement was turned over in discovery in 2022. And then, more than 3 years.
Okay,
later-
so neither side is ready then. This is just for sounding.
We are ready, we have been discussing a deposition date for Mr. Jones, for George Jones on Friday.
Tomorrow, he's got her deposition tomorrow.
So
Okay.
we are ready to go forward, Judge.
Okay, I do not accept ready subject to deposition on any case in this division. You can ask any of the attorneys, you practice here yourself, so you would know that. It's I'm ready or I'm not ready. It's not subject to, okay, so you're foregoing your deposition and the however many motions you said are what, 7?
No, Judge, I'm not foregoing those motions.
Okay, I'm not hearing them. I gave a deadline and the consequences, discuss it with your client and make sure that he is ready to proceed without those motions being heard. What I set today for, in addition to sounding, was to give you all a copy of the juror questionnaires. I took both sides, what you provided me 2 weeks ago, and I prepared them. I put them together. I'm not as computer savvy as you are, so if you need me to email it so you can make boxes, I just put lines instead. So Ralph, can you please give a copy to each side? That is the juror question.
Be clear that Mr. George Jones was not deposed. Because even though the state, or rather the defense had filed a motion to depose, what the state did in response to that was to strike him from the witness list.
And we might want to look back at those dates, if this is what is being raised at this time, because he was available for deposition.
Let's
for
not,
Over 3 years.
I
before
understand.
that, and they filed that motion, I believe, 1 to 2 weeks before trial, and
I'm-
we would
I'm not-
transit.
I'm not concerned. What I'm hearing is that there is still work to be done, including depositions. So I'll give you a moment if you'd like to speak to Mr. Jones and ask him if he wants you to take that deposition or he would like you to proceed without the deposition. And I'll also ask you to speak to him. I still have yet to get the motions because I guess they must have been filed, e-filed, but for some reason, I wouldn't have gotten a courtesy copy of any of those motions. So I don't know what the motions are. I don't know how many there are. I'm hearing there's about 7. I don't know how you think I could be prepared, and I'm in trial on a trial certain on Monday. So therefore, I don't have any days available between now and then to do all of the work that you would like to schedule into my calendar. This is why I set dates in advance. I'm happy to give you a continuance if you'd like to have those motions heard because they were filed beyond the deadline, or waive them with the colloquy to your client and proceed to trial on the dates that we have selected. So, yes, some of the motions.
Yes.
I need a copy of all of the motions that you filed after the deadline date to file motions.
And if I can put us in a breakout room.
Okay, who wants to be in the breakout room? Who's online?
Ms. Jones, Peabody, and Ms. Humphries.
Okay, let's see. All right, anyone ready on another case?
Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Uh,
So I just got 3 motions, but apparently there's more motions. You have 8. Okay. All right, well, I'll need a copy of those as well. Give me 1 second because I got more people in the waiting room. Okay. Sorry, tell me what page again?
Page 12, Your Honor.
12.
The next is your. Getting, who's there.
All right, state you ready.
Your Honor, I've been in communication with Mr. Iamuno. We're agreeing to a joint continuance.
Okay, that's right, Mr. Yamuno.
It's just.
Joint continuance granted, 7.
7:38.
Thank you.
Judge.
All right, have a good day.
Do take care. Thank you.
Ralph, today it doesn't give me, where's the breakout room? It doesn't give it to me. Oh, I found it in the new, in the note. Yeah, I found it.
May I call a case?
Yes, which page?
Page 42, Colby Goldsmith.
Without having him deposed.
Judge, I'm sorry, are you putting us in the breakout room?
Yes,
Your Honor,
42.
Your
Go
Honor,
ahead.
Judge, defense is not ready on both cases. I'd ask the rule no vote stuff.
Okay, for plea?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, just so you all know, we only have 3 copies of the motions. I'm gonna need a copy of any motions that you have filed that you would like the court to consider. So I'm putting everyone into the breakout room.
And would you also put Miss Danielle Perez in there as well, Your Honor?
Perez. Okay. See. Okay, and what other one do you have next? Defense? You have any
I'm sorry?
cases to call?
We go in order, Judge.
Say that again?
We can go in order, Judge.
In order? Okay. What about Denise Sarabia on page 43?
Your Honor, state is not ready.
Defense.
Sorry, I didn't hear what's the heading.
They're not ready.
I'm not ready either as well.
Okay, joint continuance is,
3810. She was texting me that she was trying to get into the break, into the Zoom. I don't know if she was ever.
Keep there.
who's there?
Okay.
Okay. All right, so Miss Sarabia, you don't need to be here on May 18th anymore, okay? All right, your new date is July 30th. Okay, you're muted, so if I can't hear you, but I see you talking. There you go. All right, we'll
Okay.
see you July 30th.
Okay. In the
Okay, have a
morning.
good day.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Page 44, Chad Jones.
State is ready on both cases, Your Honor, case ending in 5-1 and case ending in 5-2.
Mr. Jones is not in the breakout.
He needs corrections to put him in. I haven't, corrections, can you get Mr. Jones into the breakout room, please?
I think he might have to call for something.
Yeah, they're there. Someone's there.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, can you help him push the button to go into the breakout room, please?
No problem.
Thank you. All right, state was ready on Chad Jones' defense.
Judge, I'm not ready on either case.
Okay, defense continuance.
3810.
Justin Noel.
State is ready. Defense is not